for we will destroy this place. In other words, get them out before the destruction comes. Because the outcry against them has grown great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it. Before the destruction, the message is given to the righteous, get out. Yes. Notice Genesis 19, verse 14. It says there, so Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law, who had married his daughters, and said, get up, and what? Get out. Get out of this place, for the Lord will destroy the city. Get out before the city is destroyed. But to his sons-in-law, he seemed to be joking. So you have a second angel's message here. Sodom is fallen. Get out before destruction comes. Now another interesting detail is that before the cities were destroyed, there was a door that was closed. And the angels protected Lot from the wrath of the inhabitants. Interesting. Let's read about it in Genesis 19, verses 9 and 10. Genesis 19, verses 9 and 10. And they said, stand back. And these are the evil men outside the house of Lot. Then they said, this one came in to stay here, and he keeps acting as our judge. Now we will deal worse with you than with them. That is, with the angels that were in there. So they pressed hard against the man Lot, and came near to what? To break down the door. But the men reached out their hands and pulled Lot into the house with them and shut the door. Let me ask you, when were the wicked people of Sodom lost? When the door was shut or when the fire fell? It's when there was a shut door before the destruction. And in case you're wondering about this, there's another story that Jesus used, which is also a typological story. As it was in the days of Noah, so also will it be at the coming of the Son of Man. Let me ask you, was there a door in the days of Noah that was shut before the destruction? Yes. Did the wicked realize and know that they were lost?
No.
Between the time when the door closed and when the destruction came? No. Did the inhabitants of Sodom know that they were bound to be destroyed when the door was shut?
No.
No. They found out when the destruction actually came. So you have a shut door, and the angels protect God's faithful family. Very interesting. And then you have what we might say a third angel's message.
Come on, preacher.
You say, what happens, the first angel, the message is, hey, will you not separate the righteous from the wicked before the destruction? Will not the judge of the earth do right? The second message is, Sodom is fallen. It's morally, cannot be redeemed. Anything in it. It's going to be destroyed. But before the destruction, the righteous people, get out. And then the message is, if you don't get out, fire and brimstone is going to fall upon you. Is that exactly what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah? Notice Genesis 19 and verse 24. Genesis 19 verse 24. Then the Lord rained brimstone and fire on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. What was it that destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah?
Fire.
Fire and what?
Brimstone.
And brimstone. But not only did the fire descend from heaven, but also the smoke ascended. Notice Genesis 19 and verse 28. Genesis 19 and verse 28. This is Abraham. Now he's looking toward the cities after the fire and brimstone has fallen on the cities. It says, then he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the plain, and he saw, and behold, the smoke of the land which went up like the smoke of a furnace. Let me get ahead of myself a little bit. Have you ever read the third angel's message? Where it says that whoever does not get out, fire and brimstone will fall from heaven, and the smoke of her torment will ascend? See, this is not coincidence. This is typology. And Jesus gives us a right to interpret it this way because he says, as it was back then, so is it going to be. This is not just creative thinking. This is a typological relationship that Jesus Christ himself established.
Yes.
But as we noticed, in the city, there was a faithful remnant. Lot. Let's read about it in Genesis 19 and verse 29. See, God had promised Abraham that he was going to spare Lot. Notice what it says in Genesis 19 verse 29. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham. Now, it doesn't mean that God forgets people. To remember is in the context, God now is going to remember His covenant, His promise. He's going to implement His promise that He made to Abraham that He would not destroy Lot, because Lot was faithful. And so it says, God remembered Abraham and sent out Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when He overthrew the cities in which Lot had dwelt. Now, notice 2 Peter